How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with The Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 3, Episode 6, and this one's entitled The Hole. It originally aired November 4th, 1990, was directed by David Severeid, and stars Ahmad Rashad, Antone Pagan, Glenn Kubota, and Michael McCormack. And this is a zombie episode. That is so cool. Really, really fun. We don't get zombies on this show too often, and the one that pops into my mind is My Zombie Lover from all the way back in Season 1, and that was fine for what it was, but it was more like a sitcom comedy episode. This is the type of zombie episode I want. It's like a full-on grueling and intense zombie movie somehow packed into a half-hour time block. Like, for real, this is super grueling and super intense and has a ton of atmosphere, and it is just a case of, wow, they were able to do all that in an episode of Monsters. I mean, first off, the zombies are cool, grungy zombies. They're zombies that were buried in the dirt, so when they come out, they're dirty, and their flesh is being worn away, so they have exposed skeletons, and you get that classic shot of the hand popping out of the dirt. This is some really cool stuff. I love grungy zombies. They're so cool. And on top of that, this is a Vietnam War episode, and it takes place in the tunnels underground. So yeah, you get a labyrinth of tunnels. You don't know where you're going. It's hard to get out of, and you can just imagine how quickly those zombies can overwhelm you. This is really cool. Like, for real, we're only 6 episodes into this season, but this is a strong contender for best episode of the season. If something knocks us out, I will be pleasantly surprised, but for real, this is a classic zombie movie packed into an episode of Monsters. I mean, I don't know how you get much better than that. It's intense, it's atmospheric, and I love the look of the zombies. This is great. Watch it if you haven't. Seriously, go check this one out. But anyway, if you want me to talk a bit more about the plot, let's dive in. I'll break down and analyze a few things, but I'll try to be avoiding major spoilers, so I'll steer clear of the ending. I will do a deeper analysis, but no big reveals. Anyway, we open up with a pretty interesting opening shot, the camera looking up from inside the hole, and we get the title card and we get them ripping off the cover and going in. Good shot, but when they go in, we get to find out a bit about our characters. You know, you have the one guy that re-enlisted, so he's a career military guy. You have the newcomer, and he's of course going to be a little more pessimistic. And then you have the guy who's, I think, more of an intelligence officer. I believe he's Vietnamese, so he speaks the language, but he also knows, like, how the holes are constructed and can tell you based on, like, the way the dirt's packed, which way to go. So, you know, he's kind of more of the guide character. Well, they go in, and, like, right off the bat, the atmosphere in here, the way the actors have to crouch down, the way it's so dark, and the way that you're literally underground, away from the surface world. Gosh, these tunnels are super cool. And then you get things like them finding a tripwire. Yeah, we're at war, and that element of danger is super there. Well, after exploring these tunnels for a bit, they find a room, and it's furnished, and all the supplies are still there, but no one else is. Yeah, the enemy has gone. What happened to them? It's a bit of a case of, you know, like Alien when they find the ship with the eggs in it, and you have to wonder what happened here that caused all their doom. Well, the guys are here because they're exploring the empty tunnel, and they're supposed to report back and find out what happened and maybe get a survivor or two to interrogate. So they decide they're going to press on, but right when they're about to leave, they hear a noise coming from the corner. You have one survivor, and he is all scratched up. He's not going to last too much longer. The guy that speaks Vietnamese is going to interrogate him, and after a few questions says, well, that doesn't make much sense. I bet this guy's like hallucinating because he's about to die. And they say, whoa, for real, just go ahead and tell us what he said. And that's where we get some absolute grade A build-up. You want some build-up, and this is some good stuff. He says, we dug too deep and disturbed something. And then he talks about how their fallen soldiers were starting to get up again. So yeah, he's telling us really early on that this is going to be zombies, which is good because then I can talk about it without spoiling the episode. But after that, we get the spiritual zombie stuff. Like, so many zombie things are chemicals or diseases or something like that. But the idea that you disturb something underground, and I think they said the earth was mad that we spilt so much blood on it, that's cool. It's not quite no more room in hell, but it is pretty cool. And then he drops the line, "We tried to go, but the tunnels wouldn't let us leave." That is some cool Blair Witch stuff right there. And right off the bat, just from this little bit, we know we're in for an intense episode, and I cannot wait to see these zombies. Well, of course, they try to press on, and we get one of the interesting things in this episode. They find out that because they couldn't take their dead above ground to bury them, they had to bury them in the walls. So yeah, that's creepy enough, just knowing that you're underground in a tight tunnel and the walls are so close to you. It's very claustrophobic. But then to know there's a dead guy buried in the walls all around you? Oh man, even if this was just real life and not a zombies episode, you would be thinking that a hand's gonna pop out and grab you. But this is an episode of a TV show, so that can happen. And oh man, as I said earlier, when you see these zombies, they are grade A gold star zombie designs. I absolutely love them. So yeah, this episode is really, really intense. It's a great episode of the show and will probably be my #1 for the season unless another stellar episode blows it away, which I mean, I'm all for because I'd love more better episodes. But for real, even if you're not a fan of monsters and you just like zombies, show your friend who's a big fan of Dawn of the Dead or Zombie 2 this movie. Well, I guess it's not a movie, it's an episode of a show, but man, it kind of feels like one. It's really cool. Check it out. Definitely recommend it. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about past episodes of the show, you should be able to find those there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist here. Have a good day now.